Georgia. Dandavat pranam to you and Dandavat pranam to all the assembled devotees. Today is Srila Srinivas Acharya's appearance day. Happy Srinivas appearance day. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amritmani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving reminder for this festival. So Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Shyam Rasika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees on this call. This is Premanandini, Devidasi and Sandeep from Ashburn, Virginia.
Hare Krishna, Sandeep Prabhu and Prem Nandini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Malini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining. Anybody else would like to announce their name?
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Dandavat Pranam to your feet and Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees at the call. This is Ipshita from Orlando, Florida.
Hare Krishna, Ipshita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to announce their name? Otherwise, we can hand over the call because our Prabhuji is here. So, Hare Krishna, we are so fortunate to have His Grace Murarivallabh Prabhu from Houston, USA, and today he is enlightening us on Srimad Bhagavad Gita 2.21. His Grace Neela Govinda Das Prabhu will not be available today, so we requested Prabhuji, and Prabhuji very kindly accepted our request. So, welcome to the call, Murarivallabh Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Mataji.
Please take over the call now. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Nila Madhava, Radha Nila Madhava Radhe, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivraja Kashtotar Sati, Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srimad Prabhupada ki Jai, Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Taking blessing from all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. Vanchakalpatarubhaksha Kapa Sindhubhyaeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namanam. So we are reading today Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. Contents of the Gita summarized. Text number 221 onwards. Veda Vinashinam Nityam Ye Yenam Ajam Avyayam Katam sa purusha partha kam gata ayati hanti kam veda vinashinam nityam yeyenam ajam avyayam katam sa purusha partha kam gata ayati hanti kam. Word to word. Veda knows Avinashinam, indestructible, Nityam, always existing, a one who, Enam, this soul, Ajam, unborn, Avyayam, immutable, Katam, how, Sa, that, Purusha, person, Partha, O Partha, Arjuna, Kam, whom, Gat, Ayati, causes to hurt, Hanti, kills, Kam, whom. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Partha, how can a person who knows that soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Purport. Everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for its proper utility. Similarly, violence has to be its utility, and how to apply violence resets with the person in knowledge. Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the courts of justice. In Manu Samhita, the law book for mankind, it is supported that a murderer should be condemned to death so that his next life he will not have to suffer for the great sin he has committed. Therefore, the king's punishment of hanging a murderer is actually beneficial. Similarly, when Krishna orders fighting, it must be concluded that violence is for the supreme justice, and thus Arjuna should follow the instruction, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all, because at any rate, the man or the other, the soul cannot be killed. So the administration of justice, so-called violence, is permitted. A surgical operation is not meant to kill the patient, but to cure him. Therefore, the fighting to be executed by Arjuna or instruction at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge. So there is no possibility of sinful reaction. O Vajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashata Deshatarine. Today, the contents of Gita summarized. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita would have been finished by second chapter itself because it is already summarized. But Arjuna is asking again questions. So Lord has to explain him. Here he's telling that soul is aja, it will be never killed by, it is cannot be destructed, it is cannot be immutable, and it is eternal and it is unborn. We are not the body, we are the soul. Prabhupada every time tells in most of the Srimad Bhagavatam, but still we may be forgetting. Here, Krishna is telling Arjuna, he will not incur any sin. Why it is not incur sin? The law book Man Samhita tells there are 6 people are there, it can be killed. One who gives poisons, one who steals land, and one who plunders, and one who attack with the deadly weapons, or one who kidnap other wife or he rapes, and one who set fire to the house or forest. So here clearly Manu Samhita is telling us 6 aggressor cannot be pardoned. So these are people who act on cold-blooded murder type. There are 2 types of, one is hot-headed, one is cold-headed. Cold-headed always plan, hot-headed without plan, instinct. They react, they don't respond. Here, cold-blooded is where there is a plan is there. When they plan according to, and they see, they use their intelligence, and they want to see if it is not, caught. That's the reason they do with the cold-blooded plundering or attacking with weapon. Everything they say, but they have got always a fear if he is not succeeded doing all these things. But when he tries, if he's caught, he has to be killed or he should be hanged. That is the justice of the land or justice of. So there is an exemption is there for this, that is only Brahmanas. Pure Brahmana are exempted, but they also banish from that village or town or city. They cannot stay in that. That is, and other places it is said, Mahapatakas also said, the plunderer and gold, everything. That's another way of realizing who are the sinners. These sinners cannot be pardoned because they go on, once they start something like that, plundering or kidnapping or setting fire, they will be go on doing that. Their destructive mentality will go on. That's what Krishna says. That is why how to apply violence. Now again, Krishna is asking Arjuna to do violence only because killing soldiers, but that is allowed because Kshatriyas always agree to fight when they are challenged, and it is a challenge by Kauravas to fight. They were knowing that they cannot conquer Arjuna because Krishna is with them. Even then, they did a foolish, thing whether they can fight with Krishna and Arjuna. They are unconquerable. So here it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita when to apply violence, when to not to apply violence. Because we are 4 types, Shudras, Kshatriyas, and Brahmanas, and Vaishyas are there. Who can do violence? Usually, Shudras does violence because he is ignorant of the law, ignorant of the scriptures, ignorant of the sadhu sangha and shastra. So when he does, if he is allowed to do that, he will incur more and more sins. So that sin has to be, he should be punished by Yamraj in his life, next life also. It is continue. That's the reason Prabhupada mentioned, if he hangs by the law of the land and justice, then it is a supreme justice because he is not going to suffer much in the next life. Because otherwise, he will be born in demon family or other family. He's go on doing the same thing. Like if you see Bragari, everything, they are born in the hunter family and they are go on doing the sins because there was no one to stop. So here Krishna is telling what is the supreme justice. Supreme justice, then and then they'll be caught, they should be caught and punished or hanged or sentenced to death, son. So this king's punishment is hanging a murder is actually beneficial. Prabhupada explaining that why it is beneficial. He would have been suffered in the hell, this life, next life, so many lives he would have been suffered. And when he comes back again, he has to suffer in this material world also. So that is reduced by giving a proper punishment. So condonement punishment is necessary in this material world. Otherwise, unnecessarily accumulating sins like that. In America, there is a credit. You are 750, 800 credits, so you'll be sanctioning loan fast. Those who do not have credit, they cannot get proper loan. It is same thing in spiritual also. You should have a proper spiritual credit to go back to Godhead. So we are in sadhana bhakti and raganuga bhakti. When you are not in raganuga bhakti, you are not going back to Godhead. That's when you should be careful what is attachment, because in rules and regulation, and we are following Vaidhi Bhakti. So it is to get back to Raganuga. That's why we are in also Anartha Nivritti stage, most of us. I'm talking about myself. So this Anartha Nivritti stage, still we are attached. So here all the sin aggressive people, why they are attached? Duryodhana is one of the most sinful person because he's so much envious of Pandavas. He doesn't want them to stay, peacefully. And not, they are peacefully living and he is not peaceful. Though he has got everything, whatever he wanted, he achieved. He sent Pandavas to the forest. He has ruled his own kingdom. No one is against him. Everyone, Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, so many people are helping him, Dranda. Even then, he is not peaceful. That is why he took a permission from Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra also knowing Duryodhana's mind, he didn't give permission. Don't go there where Pandavas are there. You are agitating them unnecessarily. They are peacefully staying there. That shows one can peacefully stay in forest, he can peacefully stay in a palace, he can peacefully stay as a beggar also. So there is not necessary to do violence, but Duryodhana want to show them, I am so much. The showing off in this nature, in the material world, makes us ruin ourselves. When he went, we know that he was taking, forcibly taking bath in the lake, and Yakshas came and caught him. And in that same place, Karna and other people ran because they could not fight. And Duryodhana is so foolish, he started fighting, he's captured by the Yakshas, and these Yakshas will have got all the power. They are from the higher planets. They don't bother who is the king of this. They can do that, except Pandavas. Pandavas has got better strength. So when they came, the last soldier who survived came to Yudhishthir. They were nearby. He told they were captured. So Bhima and Arjuna said, what we could not do, they did it. Nice thing. Very nice. Why you are bothered? Let them do anything. But Yudhishthira told that we cannot neglect. He is our cousin brother. We are like a family. We are 5 and 100, 105 for the outsiders. For the insiders, we may fight with them. So he asked reluctantly Arjuna, and Bhima released him by fighting with them. This shows compassion of, but the compassion should not be given to the aggressor. Duryodhana didn't do, he wanted to show off. Though he wanted to kill Bhima, he wanted to, and both are, Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, both are there, that plan. So they are like aggressor. So Krishna knows, because when he went as a peacemaker, he knows Duryodhana will not agree. Knowingly he went. That's the reason most of the time we plan our future by planning today. But Krishna doesn't do that. Krishna sees the future and plan today. So it is a reverse way, Krishna's plan. So Krishna knows exactly what is going to happen because he is all the knower, he is all the controller. So once he knows that this is going to happen, if he wants, he could have stopped. If he doesn't want to stop, that is justice one way, because whatever Krishna says is Veda Vakya. So he is trying Arjuna to understand this is not the body. You're giving them a new body, just like taking our cloth and putting a other cloth. It is just like that. But one should understand it. One who understand why Krishna is asking us to do that. When Krishna wants to do, he knows exactly what is going to happen in the future. That's why here the first thing is utility is the principle. Even Prabhupada say that. Basics of books, utility is the principle. So whatever circumstances are there, that is intent, content, and result of that. So once we know what is our intent in taking money from so many people, donation, and we are using our content is simple. We want to use everything in the service of Lord Krishna, divine couple. Build a temple, build the whatever necessary. That is a utility. That's the everything has its proper utility. If we plunder that money, whichever donation, then he has to be executed. He should be punished, that person, because on behalf of Krishna only that money has come, not behalf of us. We are nothing in this world. So here is especially written, everything has its proper utility. So that money, that kingdom, that the prajas, everything belong to Krishna only, part and parcel. So when Krishna wants, the whole wants the part to act, there is no question not acting. That is a supreme justice when we act. So Krishna is trying his level best. Though it is, he knows it is a violence, there are 640 million people are going to be massacred, except 5 or 10 people. So he knows very well, because he knows these people are not worth living, or their life is ended, and he wants the dharmas to be started again, because there is adharma is going on. Everyone is doing according to their own way, not so. Whenever there is huge, Islam or Christianity or even ISKCON, when there is more people we initiated without understanding why the initiation necessary, the spiritual master has to be in contact for at least 1 or 2 years, understanding the disciple. Here, Krishna is giving such a vast knowledge to Arjuna. Arjuna is a proper disciple. When spiritual master initiate more people, not giving them proper shelter, here it is written how to get a shelter. Whenever we take shelter of our spiritual master, we have to follow strictly whatever the regulation, whatever the niyama, all these things we have to follow, because it is instruction from Krishna, it comes. But whenever there is not proper disciple, then the quality will be dissolved, because whenever you put more water for anything, that what is happen, the quality will not be there. So here also same thing, when mob is initiated 5,000, 6,000, then there may not be any quality in that. Here also Islam, and why the quality is going down, because of the mob, more and more people joining very fast. They want to, then someone, whoever guiding them is not properly guiding them. So they have got violence. Most of the world violence. Why violence is there? Not understanding the scriptures properly. So that is not the supreme justice. That is a ignorance and foolishness and whatever, our way we are doing, that's the reason. They deviate from the Shastra and Sadhu. Whenever we deviate from Sadhu and Shastra, we will be, having havoc in this world, because they are not understanding what is the reason for this world and why the violence should be there. So these recent wars all are unjustified. There is no justice in this recent war, whether America, whether it is Israel, everything. So once we understand what is the necessary for violence, then it is easy for us to follow it. For ingredients for rasa, see, the violence also is a rasa. Krishna enjoys it many times. When he kills Kamsa, when he kills Ravana, when he kills Kumbhakarna, when he kills Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, all this rasa are there. He wanted it. Vishnu wanted it. So, but for us, the spiritual rasa ingredients are Krishna has to be there, Srimati Radharani has to be there, Gopas and Gopis has to be there, and Vrindavan has to be there. So at Vrindavan-like place, it is not necessary in Vrindavan. Whenever these four places are there, then we get that rasa, whatever rasa we have got. Shanta rasa, or Sakya, Madhurya, Dasya ras, and Madhurya ras. So Madhurya ras has to be there, then these four ingredients has to be there. In Kurukshetra, gopis didn't carry gold and silver to meet Krishna. They carry the cow dung. That's the reason Krishna loves cow more than anything, and Brahmanas, Gopas and Gopis. So whenever we understand the complete nature of violence, why violence happening, whether we can stop it, our strength. If at all we cannot stop this violence by our own strength, we have to submit, we have to take shelter of Krishna, divine couple. They are the proper authority to do that, because many times we are not in a position to do justice to ourselves also. We leave it to Krishna. So unless there is a justice of peace, then there will only pieces, because next life of that person who had done violence, he may be a butcher, or he may be born in a demon family, and he will continue that. So our strength in spiritual is to follow scriptures and Guru and Shastra properly, Sadhu and Shastra. So unless, how this violence happening according to the scientific way, the reaction to the reaction and the brain process, our brain is processing per second 10 bytes, whereas the supercomputer can quintillions per second. That is known as extra scale range. That is flops. Flop means floating point operation per second. One extra flop is 10 in the ratio of 18, that is per second. So it's that much fast it processes. Our brain also is very fast. It is not that. We are parallel and analog. That is our brain does. Krishna has produced. Whereas man-made supercomputer is digital. It can work only on one area. It cannot have multiple area. It cannot work. But related to one area, it can work. But brain is not like that. The brain is parallel and analog. It is one time it can process so many things, billions of, That's why our dream or our thought of mind is, almost 72,000 per second. It can have such a vast, so it can analyze. So this violence also, unless he reaction comes immediately without processing properly, without understanding. When response we do, here Krishna is responding. He is not, reacting immediately. He is planning. Both the party were planning for the war. It's a huge war. So when you plan properly, there is enough time for the thought process to go in the brain and other things. When same thing you put, if you see whatever our Acharya is telling, AI cannot understand it because it is not fed by any people, spiritual people, what is necessary. So AI confuses whenever you say how many times, if you put in, AI and ask how many times Prabhupada said, you are not the body, you are the soul. They cannot say that. They may say 13.1, 2.13, 2.17, 2.22, 25, 13.3, and Bhagavad Gita 1.3, 31, 33, 10.14 to 10.12. So we can say this much only, but it is much more than that. When Krishna asked, Krishna is talking in Bhagavad Gita, it's more than 400, 480, I think. And Arjuna is 200 and other people are there, rest of them. So we should understand that this AI has got a limitation. Today we are talking so much about, AI. We should not be bothered much about that. If it is useful to us in some other way, we have to use it. Because Krishna has given all artificial intelligence in Bhagavad Gita. Or it is not artificial actually, it is real intelligence. We need not go for artificial. Because in this world, almost if you take drinks, you take vegetables, you take any packed food, everything is there, artificial. No, some artificial things are put. Sometimes many, sometimes one or, because the preservative is, most of them is artificial things. So we are not, should not be attracted for these things because purity doesn't establish anything in that. So whenever we say, so these Kshatriyas always say, Pran jaye na vachan na jaye. So this Kshatriyas has got that mentality. So they give their life once they promise. Especially we saw Bali Maharaj. We have seen many examples in that. When they give promise, they don't mind their leaving the body. That is not violent. That is, their nature is like that. Dhruva Maharaj got so much, angry on his father, on stepmother, because she didn't allow. She went, such a small boy could go to forest, and fortunately he got Narad and he blessed him and he got darshan of Lord Vishnu. So these are not comparing the violence, or his father is not doing any violence. It is a one-way ignorance, and it's not attached so much. They're attached to some people and they're not attached to some other people. So that is the reason the process in the brain takes a steps which is, agitated, and we take immediately reacted to that. And Dhruva Maharaj went to forest. He didn't listen to anyone. So that doesn't come under violence. That comes under, higher taste of this. So once we know what is higher taste, what is lower taste, then the scriptures will allow us to enjoy. In any material things, violence will not give you pleasure, because there is always a scar which is there. He has done, always. The scar is there. The scar will not go away because there's a deep impression. That impression will carry on for next life also. So we should never do any violence unless it is, put on us. Fight back in violence. Most of the martial arts are only for defense, not for offense. So unless but nowadays so many movies, so many Bollywood, Hollywood movies are only showing only violence. They don't show what is the reason for violence. They are only interested in making money. So whenever we preach or anything, we transform them and we transcend them. Krishna is making Arjuna to transcend, and he has already transformed him because he is already transformed, but he wants to transcend from this, bodily conception. And killing in the battlefield, unless Krishna sanction, nobody can kill anyone. We know that Krishna mare to rake kon, Krishna rake to mare kon. That is simple things. We have different talents. If you see the violence also, somebody uses knife, a surgeon uses knife to save the patient. That time we don't say he's doing a violent, he's using his knife. That's what the example is given here. So we should understand what is the purpose of intent and content and result of it. So whenever we understand this violence is necessary or not necessary, or we can do without violence. So Prabhupada never asked, we have seen so many Maharaja criticizing in the classroom, everything. They didn't get agitated. They stopped their disciple, not to attack that person. Otherwise, disciples are so much angry, and when even Prabhupada insulted by someone, they were about to hit them, but Prabhupada make them, sit and peacefully, because he's already taken the stage of Atmara. He knows. He sees everyone equally. Pandita Samadarshan. Once he is in that stage, then there is no question of violence. Without violence, he can, control that situation. That's how the Prabhupada and his disciple are controlling the violence. Even in the Dubna Maharaj, if you see how many times he was supposed to be killed by Protestant and Catholics. They were against, spreading this motion. There are people in this world who want to stop us, but that doesn't mean we go on killing. That part, Kalki will do that. We need not do that part. So when we understand how much we should respond for this violence in this world, unless we take a proper guide, Arjuna completely surrenders to Krishna and he takes Karishe Vachanam Tava. He accepts him as a spiritual master and is Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So he's ready to accept whatever necessary in the life. That is why he's become victorious. When we want to become victorious, then instruction of the sadhu, sasra, and then Krishna, everything will come to in our place, in our help. So that is the reason Prabhupada always say anything, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, all Prabhupada books, all Acharya's books, scrutinizingly read that. It should take long time to read one, text, everything. It has got deeper and deeper. When you dive deeper and deeper, all the necessary ornaments, all the precious jewels, precious words is there. Because that is the reason this Acharya spent lot of time, they were never used to sleep 1 or 2 hours. They used to get up, always think. In the dream also they used to think how this Krishna says, I am coming personally. We know that story where Krishna comes and helps personally. So once we understand this, Manu Samhita and other things, what are the law book, ISKCON also get law book. ISKCON says, initiating guru, that's Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru are, most of the time we should accept them. They are the people who gives us the guidelines. Even ISKCON law book respect Siksha Guru also. We may be having many Siksha Gurus because we take advantage of them and we follow their instruction. And whenever we are in doubt, spiritual master may not be available all the time. So the only people come to is Siksha Gurus. So Siksha Gurus also can be appointed according to law, our GBC law, and there is some procedure is there, but we cannot get that law book, everyone. So we take guidance from the local senior people who know the scriptures properly. Like Arjuna, we are also in Dwanda. So many times we don't know where to go here and there. That time the rescue comes from Shastra or Sadhu or local sadhus. So we should know that, understand properly where, when the surgical operation is necessary, we have to undergo that with the help of doctor. When in the real life, any surgical operation has to be necessary, stopping violence against our own family members. And whenever parents is doing so much on the, putting pressure on the children, that's also partly violence only. Why? Because he has got some inclination in any one of the three, maybe literature, maybe music, maybe kala. So we have to ignite that instead of putting pressure to become one-sided argument. So he has got his own, children has got his own nature. So we have to identify. We can't force anyone. Upcoming parents cannot force. They can show the way. They can say everything boils down to material. Most of the parents in this modern life, what they do, they want a better than them. Son should be better than what they are in the position in the society. One way, what is better, they do not understand. Just because the position, and money makes anyone happy, you give the example of Duryodhan, you give the example of so many people in this Hitler or anything. They were never happy. They had everything. Alexander, all these people had enough, but they want to conquer more and more. What for? They didn't achieve anything. That's the reason whenever we say today's quote also, love for God cannot be purchased or achieved. It is whenever we take shelter and inspiration comes from these people, then only Krishna might give us that shelter, unconditioned shelter, and he will bless us. Then only love of God can come. So whenever Krishna wants peace, he doesn't mind killing all these people, Shishupal, Ramasan, crocodile, Gajendra, Gajendra Moksha crocodile, and Rahu Ketu in Mohini, Kashi Raja with the Sudarshan Chakra. Most of these people are killed by Sudarshan, his weapon. And sometimes he kills with his arrow also. So whenever we are in problem, so we should take shelter, because our head is, whenever we are hot-headed, decision cannot be taken because it is impulsive, emotionally motivated. So any action should not be emotionally motivated, because there is not much, that stimuli is giving us the immediate. But whenever you have a cold headed and you think whether I should respond, whether I should react, whether I should neglect, that planning is necessary for us. Thinking, brain will always help us. Within a second, it will help us how to come. But we have to use our intelligence to use the discrimination, whether it is necessary or not necessary. Sometimes, whenever we neglect some person, they will understand it. He didn't like me. So that is also good. Sometimes we have to ask them pardon. We have done some mistake. We have to go to them and tell them, so I am wrong. There is nothing wrong in accepting we are wrong. There is nothing like that, because nothing we are going to lose. There will not be any violence in his mind, whether he wants to, do some violence on us. Most of the wars and everything can be settled by communication, proper communication, give and take. So Rupa Goswami always says it is give and take. Krishna also, spiritual master also. Now Adik Maas comes, we sing that song of Bilva Mangal Thakur always. Krishna wants to take all our sin. Krishna wants to take the beauty and other things from Radharani. So we should know that, and he steals, butter and gopis was for the pleasure. For that is not the, necessary in this material world. Whatever he takes from us and he gives multiple times the bhakti or prema, then when you are pure, we can relish it. Because we are not relishing Bhagavad Gita, I'm talking about myself only. Because we are not pure. Otherwise, every text, every sentence, every word can give us immense knowledge and pleasure of, contact and connecting Krishna on divine couple and our spiritual master. That's why every time Vipralamba is better than in union. Why we say that? We are analyzing, that time my spiritual master told me that I didn't follow that time. Now I know it is that Vipralamba is there. He is great, he is lovable, he is, taking shelter of me. Like that, Krishna and divine couple also same thing. Whenever we go to temple, we see the beauty of them, the glance of Krishna and Radharani. Glance of Krishna can take our all sorrows in our life. There is nothing more enjoyable, pleasurable, and enjoyable. That is the reason we go to the morning program, everything, the relish. Because in this material world, nothing relishable. All artificial juices are there. Even a good, fruit you cannot get nowadays because it is taking changes because of the refrigeration and so many things, transport, everything. So we should understand the real pleasure in Krishna consciousness is much, much more, billion times more than what is pleasure of this material world. So whenever violence comes, when the pleasure comes, everything under the instruction of Krishna, it looks very nice. Otherwise, it is, it's just like a garbage. So here we always sing some of the song which the pleasure of the Lord and pleasure of everything. So whenever we sing Jaya Madhava Madana Murari Radhe Shama Shama Sham Jaya Keshava Kalimala Hari Radhe Shama Shama Sham Sundara Kundala Naina Vishala Gale Soyeva Janti Mala Echaviki Balihari Radhe Sham 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 Kabuhu Lutu Lutu Dai Kayo Kabuvan Madhuvan Rasa Chayo Nachata Vipana Vihari Radhe Sham 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 Vala Bala Sang Denu Charaye Vana Vana Brahmata Pire Duraye Kande Kamare Kari Radhe Ade Sham 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 Jaya Keshava Kalimala Hari Radhe Sham 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 Ek din man Indra ko marayo na Nakavupar Govardhan Darayo Nam Pade Giridhari Radhe Sham 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 Duryodhan ko Bhog Nakayo Ruke Sag Vidur Gar Kayo Aise Prema Pujari Radhe Sham 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 Jaya Keshava Kalimala Hari Radhe Shama Shama Sham Bhakta Bhakta Sab Tumne Tare Bina Bhakti Hame Tare Dware लीजो खबर हमारे राधे श्याम 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 अर्जुन के रथ हाकन हारे गीता के उपदेश तुम्हारे चक्र सुदर्शन धारी राधे श्याम 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 जय केशव कलिमल हारी राधे श्याम श्याम श्याम. In this Kali Yuga, there is no other way we can get rid of all our sin and so there is only this divine couple's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Out of 640 million people were there, they were listening Gita. How many people transformed? Very few people. In this world, we should not be disappointed by when we ever preach, they are not listening, they are not taking Gita with. The time always is there for them to mature themselves. When they matured, when they understand what is the nature of this world, where they take the shelter, then that book, Bhagavad Gita, will definitely give them the proper guide. And they will be, that potency is always there. We are not having that potency to, distribute Bhagavad Gita or anything. But Prabhupada and Acharyas and Krishna made us potent so that we can distribute. Unless we go out and preach, there is no question sitting at home thinking I can't do, I can't distribute. That is foolishness. We go because whenever in our hand that Shastra is there, that gives us so much potency, it automatically goes. Let them touch. Once we made them to touch the book, it is already, they are purified by touching the, Bhagavad Gita. Then the time will, take them today or tomorrow. It hardly matters. But we have done our job. That is the reason we have to understand. Not giving a book to someone or making them to understand. It is aparadha. It is against Radha. When we do aparadha, we will not get Radha. So we should understand that one of the aparadha is not distributing this knowledge. Krishna has 45 or 1 hour, he has given this knowledge, and that is translated by many people according to their own way. But we are very, very fortunate. This knowledge is perfectly translated and given to us in a, platinum plate. So we are unfortunate sometimes not understanding to get that knowledge and distribute the same knowledge. We are not the owner. We are not the proprietor of this knowledge. Proprietor of the knowledge is Krishna only. He is giving us to parampara so that we can understand, because it is easily digestible. When we read in Sanskrit sloka, we may not understand unless very few people are Sanskrit Pandit. They can understand that. But they made us to understand by simple way. It is so simple. Anybody can understand. Everything has its proper utility. That sentence itself shows, and see, he knows soul is indestructible. Only thing, we have got a faith, firm faith, nishta. When you have got firm faith, then all these words reveal themselves, because Krishna has already put that potency on that. It will reveal us. But we have got again attachment. When attachment is there with the family, other things, money, car, job, everything, then this will not reveal, because Krishna is himself is doing practice. When he gives donation 11,700 something cows every day from the left hand, and somebody asked him, why you are giving from the left hand? He tells us that from left to right, when it comes, I may change my decision. So whenever we want to give donation or charity to someone, we should not think twice. Just give that. Then we'll see what will happen. Because if you change within a second, our mind will change. Why today? We can give tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. We know that. Tomorrow is also again tomorrow only. So we should understand that bhakti also tomorrow doesn't come. That's why this song or this everything reveals itself, how Krishna is beautiful, how he's, taking butter, stealing butter. So, is whatever pati, we can't say Arapati because it's more than that. So wherever he's owning this, still he wants to steal because it's the love. They want Krishna to steal whenever they stir, butter from the yogurt. They are singing Krishna's. They are not singing a filmy song. They are singing Krishna's, when he comes, when he takes. So if you see when, gopis lost their dress, they were not bothered about chastity, everything, because everything is Krishna. They could understand that. That's why Gopi Parat, why Krishna says, or Gaurang Mahaprabhu says that we are only the servant of the gopis. We are not the boss and boss. Initially, we'll happy. Some people are happy, become das. Then somebody calls them Prabhu, then they will compete with Mahaprabhu. So we should understand that we are not here to compete with anyone. We are always ignorant, always begging for the mercy of Vaishnavas, everything. That's how this, every word, whether it's murder, whether it's capital punishment, whether, beneficial, everything can be understand deeply, and that otherwise we will do violence and we will be going haywire. Narada Muni will not come to us every second to elevate us, Bragari or Valmiki, anyone. He has got enough people to take back to Gaurav. Our only shelter is our spiritual master and Vaishnavas, who are available everywhere around us. So we should take shelter from them, understand them, ask them what is the real nature. Because when we sing, I'm talking about myself, my nature of that maybe, but I am myself not understanding what I am singing. That is the mystery of this world. Whenever we do something, when we chant, we understand it's good for us, but we know knowledge wise, but we are not understanding it properly. That is the reason this mystic nature of bhakti, philosophy and mystic nature, we should understand that. So many times we are confused why it happened. Why prasad is offered to us whenever we go to other temples. They offer us prasad, Vaishnava they see. So it is all the arrangement of Krishna to get us near to him. His plan for all of us, get near, go back to Godhead. But it is not easy because we are still holding back. That's why Krishna sees what you're holding back, not what you give. Whenever you hold back, he also holds back his prema. It takes long time. So you cannot purchase it by giving, $10 or $20 or any this thing. That is because he sees you are holding back. Hanuman or anyone, they were not holding anything. Arjuna, they were not holding grudge or anything. They just followed whatever their spiritual master or Lord told. That's why the result, the success, and in the future also they were, getting instruction properly, and they are ready to go back to their original place. Thank you so much. I stop here. Any correction is there? Let us know. Hare Krishna Mataji, Shama Rasika, Devi Dasi. You're there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, I'm here. I was on mute, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we will talk 5 minutes or 10 minutes for Shama. Actually, it was yesterday in our calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But Mataji said today is the Srinivas Acharyas.
Yes, Prabhuji, please. Yeah.
Yeah, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam and Shamanand Pandit were taking the books where, because we are reading Bhagavad Gita, we will not go deep into that other part. So they were taking the books and it was in the cart and it's stolen. Everyone knows. But Srinivasa Acharya take responsibility to retrieve that books which is stolen by the king in that place. So he sends Narottam Das to Keturi and sent to Navadvip Shamanand Prabhu. But he stays there. He stays there to see that he gets back, because it is more valuable than diamond and other things. But the foolish king is a thief, and he sends the people to steal it, and guard who are sleeping. See, Jiva Goswami is very smart one way. He sends these people with the guards. He didn't send them alone, because he knows people do not understand what is the nature. This book is very necessary to go to Janama Mataji and other places to spread the knowledge of this. But Srinivasa Acharya knows future. Here, the plunder is here only. Whoever taken the books thinking that it's, some jewels. And he transformed the king by his Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam knowledge he gives to that king, and king is so much inspired by him. He releases all his books, everything, and he transforms himself. That is a potency from Jiva Goswami and Hridaya Chaitanya, Srinivasa Acharya's spiritual master. We should understand how potency is there. And Srinivasa Acharya then, wants to join Narottam Das Thakur for the first Gaur Purnima. That Gaur Purnima is so wonderful. So Narottam Das was thinking, without Srinivasa Acharya, I cannot have. Srinivasa Acharya agreed. They made such a vast, arrangement to call all the Prabhupads, those who are staying there. And they made such a vast Gaur Purnima. Thousands of people are coming, whole village, because of Santosh is, brother of Narottam Das. He helped them to celebrate. He put new boards for Janama Mataji and everything when they come. Everything was perfectly managed by Srinivasa Acharya. When Srinivasa Acharya installed that deities, and he was crying because he knows it is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to make this festival so nice. Everyone, a single, animal also, whichever, cat or other things, cows, they were so much happy with this festival. Whole village, nearby village, everyone come and helping themselves without asking. They bring so much. And because of Santosh, brother of Narottam Das, he arranged everything. So that festival is mainly conducted by Srinivasa Acharya. And to the surprise, up to now, we have never seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so much, happy with Srinivasa Acharya, Shamanand Prabhu and Narottam Das. He came personally with all the people. So whenever we go to Banke Bihari, they put the curtain and, in 5 seconds, or again they're thinking Banke Bihari will step out. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, comes with all Nityananda Prabhu, Acharyas, all Srinivas. Everything is Pashwad. Everyone comes and dance to the, make every soul in that place a perfect dance form, perfect union from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It shows Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can do anything for us. Anything else. That is why if you see Bhagavad Gita is the foundation course, Srimad Bhagavatam is a graduation, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is the post-graduation literature. Why it is said every second pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very, very relishable. So once we understand Bhagavad Gita, then only we can go up to that relishable place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing his pastime with his devotees. We have never seen such incidents. We praise, Dhruva Maharaj and so many people. But in front of Srinivasa Acharya and Narottam Das and other Shamanand Prabhu and Jahnavi Mataji, these people are, one way we should not say, not comparable. Because you can't bring the Lord and his Pasha at a time, at a place, and giving that, their presence to all the people assembled there. How fortunate, how much fortunate, how much Krishna loves his devotees, especially these three people. Okay, I'll stop here. I already crossed my limit. Thank you so much for patiently listening. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Thank you so much for this lecture class and explaining this verse so nicely. And after that, the information you gave, it was so nice, Prabhuji. I don't have any question. I open the forum for the devotees. Please go ahead if you have any question or comment.
Just want to thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class. Very nice.
Nitya Mataji, thank you. You're always great. Your heart is big. Appreciating.
No, you make, and last minute you took the class. Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Grace Amritana Mataji wants to say something. She knows much more than us. She's not telling anything.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Mataji, Dandavat. Please bless us so that we can improve our class.
Very nice class, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Any comments, anything you want to add about Srinivas Acharya? Because time is short, so I made it condensed. He has got so much to say. Yeah.
He was a very big distributor.
Yeah, very. Correct. First distribution they did.
Yes, and his parents, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them to have this child personally, that, go and have a child.
Yeah.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu named him.
Very nice.
He was disciple of Gopal Bhatt
Gopal, yeah.
Goswami.
Gopal Bhatt Goswami.
But he took Shiksha
from Jiva Goswami. Yeah.
From Jiva Goswami.
Actually, all these people are, Shiksha Guru is Jiva Goswami. Shamanand Prabhu, Srinivasacharya, and Narottam Das. They have given under him. So he was, making them understand.
Yes, once he was doing
yeah.
He went into Samadhi while he was doing meditation.
Mm.
And he had 2 wives and they got worried. For 3 days he sat in Samadhi, and they called his disciple. And his disciple sat next to him. He also went into Samadhi, and after 3 days he came out of Samadhi, and his disciple said, Radharani, in her Leela, she lost her nose ring. And
that is Shamanand Prabhu, na Dukhi Shaman.
Yes. And he found that for her. And now he found it. That's why he came out of the Samadhi. He was in Samadhi for 3 days. That's all, Prabhuji. That's all I know.
Thank you so much for nectaring, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All these devotees are.
Yeah, they are great.
They are a big inspiration for me.
Yeah, we can't fathom with our little brain. They are so great. They can fast. They can, go to Samadhi. Even Narottam Das went 2-3 times Samadhi, and Brahmins are, criticizing him. What is this? Your spiritual master is left the body without. Then they came back. So they can attend that, Leela. They can do that. We are still far away from that.
Told you I feel I still scratching on the ground. But
No, we are all with you, Mataji. We are
all these devotees in this class, they're huge inspiration for me.
Yeah. That is always,
me
we
a
have to inspire each other, na Mataji. What, otherwise, where we are? We have to inspire each other, then, go on.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I
Hare
just wanted
Krishna.
to ask you about Banke Bihari temple since you mentioned it. So this temple, if you can, I'm sorry I don't know. I heard little bit that how this temple came to be. If you can just, because it is not a built temple that is built, right? It is.
See, most of the temples, they're all self-manifested deities. But one of the time, that deity jumped from the altar to the crowd because there was a pure devotee dancing. And is watering from the eyes so much. So Krishna appreciated that and he want to join. That's why I gave you example. Why? Because Narottam Das could bring Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das, Shamananda and Janami Mataji could bring Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is much more wonder than that Bhankya coming out from the altar. That's why they are scared. That's why they are putting again and again curtain. That's one way. Now I don't know whether they're doing for commercial basis. We don't know. But if you go to Vrindavan, 7 temples you have to see. That is Banke Behari may not be there in that.
Oh, really, Prabhuji? So I thought Banke Bihari is the main one there.
No, nothing main in that. If Krishna Balaram is the main, then our 3 deities, Sambandha, Videya and Prayojana, Gopinath and Govinda and Madan Mohan. 4, then we have got Radha Damodar. Radha Damodar is very, very important for us because Prabhupada stayed there. Jiva Goswami's deity, Rupa Goswami's deity, all are there. That is much more important than any other temple after Sambandha, Abhidya, Govinda, Govindji, then Gopinath, then Madan Mohan. Then if you don't have any time, you got only Radha Ramana you go and come back if you don't have time.
They're all in main Vrindavan, not Gokul.
That's in the parikrama.
Yeah.
Unless you take a parikrama, you cannot understand it.
Oh. So this is a parikrama of Vrindavan, Prabhuji?
Yes, in the parikrama, all these things. Banke Bihari very difficult to get inside because it is in the middle of the city and there are so much crowd. Every time you go there, you can't see properly. Madan Mohan, you can see nicely. Govindji, you can appreciate. Gopinath, Radha Raman, and the Radha Damodar, you can appreciate so much. They don't close it. And if you are lucky, you can get that Sheila also sometimes to see.
So what is the reason Banke Bihari has so much crowd?
In material world, any upper sampradaya comes also, crowd is there. Millions of people follow blindly. So because that if you go to Jaipur, why Govindji temple is so famous than other temple?
Yeah.
Everyone before going to shop, they come. Here also like that. Everyone comes from so many places. And there are so many songs. So many songs about Banke Bihari. So people sing. That becomes so famous. So if you know in Instagram, who is the famous people in the world? You know?
No, Prabhuji, I don't.
There are players, singers, and other people. And it goes in 400 million followers. It is not 1 or 2 million. Gopal Krishna Maharaj disciples have got Ashraya, I think. They have got around 50 to 60 million followers are there. That's highest is in ISKCON. But materially, they are bigger groups. So we cannot say why they are famous. So it happens like that. We should stick to our own people and see. But you should go. I don't say that you should not go to Banke Bihari, but very difficult to go there, first of all, and take a darshan. So all Krishna deities are same everywhere. But for us, as a ISKCONite, we have to have Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. Then Radha Raman, then Radha Ras Bihari, then Radha Damodar, and all these other 2-3 deities are there. In the same lane it is there. So you can see easily. That's the reason if you see ISKCON is the only thing, the darshan is so beautiful. Darshan doesn't close to anyone. Whenever the timing is there, you can, in the full extent of your heart, satisfying heart, you can see darshan. Nobody will show us any other temple. They close, they push. Tirupati, they push 1 second also, you can't see. But we are mad. Tirupati, we have to go with it. But our own place, Krishna is giving us so much audience, hours together we can stand. We may not appreciate that, that's different, but Krishna is giving us all the facility in our own temple.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, if you can, don't mind, you can send to Shamrasika Devidasi Mataji the list of these temples. Then
anyone knows Mataji. You ask Shamrasika Mataji. She knows much better than me.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I'll ask her. Hare Krishna.
And Prabhuji, yesterday was Radha Raman's appearance day.
Yeah, yesterday actually so many people's appearance day yesterday. Srinivasa Acharya also in our calendar is called Houston. Then it is Krishna Pula Dola Salla Vihara, disappearance of Parameshwari Das Thakur, appearance of Shri Radha Raman Devji, then Madhavendra Puri and Srinivasa Acharya. Yesterday was great day. So each people needs at least 2 hours to describe their, but in a small class it is very difficult. People may not be having patience. So even if you see Srinivasa Acharya, how much Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave their audience and every day calling them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Narottam at least 5 to 10 times. So Lord, how much he loves these people, Srinivasa Acharya, Shamananda, everything. Radha Raman is another Gopal, but we can talk so much about that. Because that is the only temple which started fire when Gopal Bhatt was there. Still it is going on. It is not stopped, that kitchen fire or somewhere. That's the greatness of that temple. The soul, the deity may be small, but the beauty of the deity is so much. It represents all, 3 deities of Radha Gopinath, Radha Govindji and Madan Mohan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for nicely explaining the verse and then patiently answering all the questions. I have one question, Prabhu. Like,
yes.
In Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we hear about so many senior acharyas, and we celebrate their appearance and disappearance. Is there any Matajis that are celebrated? Like, are there any Matajis?
Janava Mataji is there. Sita Rani Thakur is there.
Okay.
So many are there.
Okay.
We don't differentiate men and women.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. That
No,
it's all based on soul.
only thing is, whenever we talk, people may not be there to appreciate. That's the reason, maybe. But usually now Prabhupada never differentiated,
Yes.
He wants to celebrate everything, everyone.
Yeah, because he considered everyone on soul level.
Correct,
Everyone is a soul.
correct. So we don't differentiate. With Sitaran Thakur, we appreciate whenever we talk about Nimai Pandit, Advait Acharya's wife, Sitaran. So we appreciate her. Janva Mataji, everyone appreciate Janva Mataji. That is Nityanand Prabhu's wife. And, Vallabhadas, mother. is not different from Nityananda. Our son is not different from Nityananda. So much potency. So we remember them. And Sachi Mata, every day we chant Sachi Mata. Na?
Right.
Whenever we say Jai Sachinandana, we say. And we say, Rukmini, one of the main wife of Krishna. We appreciate. First love letter she only wrote, na? You must have written later.
Right.
We all. So we remember them, not that we don't. Always. And main Lord Ram's, consort, Sita Mataji. How many times we remember? Whole Ramayana is because of Srimati Sita Devi, na?
Right, Prabhu.
So we appreciate many times. If you see even Dhruva Maharaj, when we appreciate her mother also.
Yes.
And Nursing Dev's just now, Prahlad's mother, we appreciate, na?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. No, I was just thinking like so
No,
many
there are
acharyas.
so many are there. The only problem is we are highlighting because mainly acharyas were more. In that time, Matajis were not so much. But you see Jagannath temple, there are few Matajis, Ganga. You heard of her?
No, Prabhu.
They are all very great devotees, Mataji. Another Mataji's name I forgot. She came from royal family. Shabri also coming from royal family. So she became then devotee. So many people are there in the scriptures. Scriptures don't, discriminate.
Yeah.
Whatever they are there. But the problem is the book's volume will increase if you go on, talking. Now Parvati is there. How many times we appreciate her?
Yes, Prabhu.
So whenever it's appreciated. In our, I think there are 10 to 15 Matajis, are there. We appreciate them, their appearance.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna
so much.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Mataji. Shyam Rasika Mataji. Hare Bol.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can stop.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Everyone is hungry. They are waiting for breakfast.
Breakfast. No, Prabhuji. Your class was so nice. Hare Krishna.
Thank you
So
for
let's pay
appreciating.
obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarvya
Sindhu Bheve
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vande ki jai.
Jai Jai
Vaishnav ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai
Krishna. Thank you,
Murarivallabh
Prabhuji.
Jai. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Hare
Hare Bol.
Bol.